All right. So let's just pick a really general thing. Like even though um I'm triggered by my twin flame. Now, you don't have to have a recent trigger. You don't have to have a trigger that happened last night or today. You could have something that happened last week or even 2 years ago, right? That still sets you off a little bit. And what I want you to do is think of that trigger like, oof, he did that, right? Ghosted me, didn't respond to something, looked at the other woman, whatever it is, right? It still gets you. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what number is that? I have to think of one. Think of one. Okay. And then I suggest for now, because this is easier to remember on the side karate chop point, I suggest you rub your chest if you can. And even though he did this, and state the thing, right? Name it. Even though he did this, and it really triggered me, I love, honor, and value myself. Even though he did that, like he wasn't straight up with me or he wasn't communicating, I love, honor, and value myself. Even though he did, I love, honor, and value myself. All right. And then the other side, even though he did this, I love, honor, and value myself. I can value myself in all sorts of ways, even though he did this. And it just set me off. It got me going. I don't understand why he would do that. I love, honor, and value myself. Even though he did this thing, I love, honor, and value myself, and I deserve to be valued. They're often showing us where we're not valuing ourselves. All right, so the inner edge of the eye, we just gently tap. I got so triggered. And then the outer edge of the eye, because he did, and then name it. You might yawn, that means energy's moving. Under eye, I got so flippin' triggered. I like to even tap right near my nose. That's the end of the large intestine meridian right there. This one here is the stomach meridian. And then under the nose, it can really get me going. Like, I just don't understand that kind of behavior, why someone would do that. Someone I really love would do that kind of crap. Under your mouth. This situation just made me lose it. Name the situation. Why can't he just be real with me? Why can't he just be easy? And then under the collarbones, even though this happened, I love, honor, and value myself. And then the crown of the head. I got so triggered. Really threw me off center. Why would you be like that? Okay, so we've done the whole, except here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tap through between all the knuckles too. This is kind of powerful. Close your eyes, open your eyes, think of this situation. And then relax. Now, once again, go into this idea of 1 to 10. How do you feel about that trigger? Usually it doesn't get worse. I've never seen it get worse, but sometimes there are different facets you become aware of. Like, let's say you feel like, oh, now you're aware of the general broad category of like when he's disregarded you or whatever. Okay. All right. So sometimes it doesn't shift right away, and we go back into how much more specific can we get? What kind of elements, like what kind of piece sticks out for me the most and is the most irritating and annoying, right? Like I hate even thinking about it. Okay. Yeah. Just 1 second. All right. So we can do that. Let's go just to the karate chop point at the side of the hand. Even though I hate thinking about this, like it's so aggravating that this happened to me, I love, honor, and value myself. I hate this. Like, why would someone do that to me? I wish that weren't even part of my life. And still, I love, honor, and value myself. I would rather not think about it. It bothers me. Woo! It bothers me so very much. So aggravating. How could they do that? I love, honor, and value myself. Woo! Okay, put your fingers right here and think about that situation for a minute. Okay, these are called your frontal neurovasculars. They're really powerful for shifting energy. Yeah, so here's a good thought, right? In the chat, my brain is all like, I love, honor, and value myself, but they don't. Well, you're not valuing yourself enough to not get triggered, right? You're not honoring yourself enough to just tell yourself, oh, well, that was their attitude, and they're just, you know, functioning from the best level of that they can right now, which is not very high, right? You're not minimizing it. Like, we all have memories of things that happen to us that are neutral, right? Memories maybe from second grade. Oh, we were studying this in school, or even kindergarten. I remember studying letters, you know, and sounds. And those are more neutral memories. Sorry. When something triggers you in a strong way, it's clearly not a neutral memory, but you can make it into a neutral memory. But you aren't honoring yourself enough in this moment to allow it to be a neutral memory, right? To allow it to be a neutral situation, like, oh, that was just them. It's not even about me. Because anything anyone does is more about them than it is about you. And I know that you know that. But so you're not honoring yourself, actually, by allowing it to get you off your game, by allowing it to upset you. All right, so now let's go to the other side. Even though I hate even thinking about this, it's just so aggravating. Like, what kind of behavior was that? I love, honor, and value myself. Even though it's like I deserve to be treated with much better behavior, I love, honor, and value myself. Even though what they did was so awful. Like, dude, why'd you do that? I love, honor, and value myself. All right. Inner edges of the eye. That behavior was so disregarding, so awful. Outer edge of the eye. But it's in the past. It's in the past. I can let it go. Under the eye. So irritating. Super irritating that you would pull that kind of thing. Under the nose and under the mouth. You can do them simultaneously. And I choose to come back to center no matter what someone else is doing, because no one else under your collarbones has any power over me. I'm the only one with power over me. Even though it feels like he has power over me, he doesn't. And then the crown of the head. Ugh. That kind of behavior, but I let it have its significance. I gave it its significance. Inner edges of the eyes. I don't have to give it significance. Outer edges of the eyes. He was just doing he was just doing him. He maybe even couldn't think of me in that moment. Under eye. And besides, it's all designed to evolve me. Woo. It's like a PhD program in self-evolution. And under the nose and under the mouth simultaneously. And guess what? I'm strong enough to get through this. I have resilience and fortitude and everything I need under the collarbones. So even though that was aggravating behavior, frustrating, mean, crown of the head, it's mean of me to make him that powerful to affect me. That's the meanest part about this. That I let it get to me and ruin my mood. Inner edge of the eye, because that's the past. Outer edge of the eye. And when I come back to present, I have everything I need. Under the eye, I'm in charge of how I feel. He doesn't get to be. I'm in charge of that. Under the nose and under the mouth, which is real empowerment. Me being in charge of me is real empowerment. Under the collarbones, it's just training to not let me get off my game. And then the crown of the head, so I can allow myself to come back to this moment and feel better now. And then between all the fingers here, I'm gonna take a deep breath, close my eyes, open my eyes, look from down slowly to up and back down and relax. So now check in with yourself. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is it? Hopefully you've had some shift there. You can always lather, rinse, repeat. So it's down a little bit. Yeah. We are the only ones in charge of our state. Even though it feels like someone else can easily knock us off, especially that twin. I totally get it. Right? And so we're the ones that give them that power. I know. It's like, I didn't give them that power. Right? I remember before I knew what a twin flame was, I was like, why does this person get to me so much? Like what he does, someone else could do that and it'd be like, okay, dude, you're weird, right? But with him, it's like, the little cartoon character that's freaked out. That was me. Allowing his behavior to get to me. And it's like, it really has no power over me except the power that I give it. And that is a thing from the Course in Miracles that talks about nothing as meaning except for the meaning that you've given it.